Best Champions League match we've ever watched, or just this season, Grell?
I don't know. When our jib operator, our camera guy, turns around to me in the 80th minute and says, I'm scared to look away because I feel like I'm going to miss something. I think it's such an amazing advert for football, such an amazing advert for Champions League. The level is insane. It's going to be difficult to analyze tonight because none of us have played at that level, and none of us have played in a game that fast and in a game of that intensity. I don't think many people in the world have. I don't think some of the best players and some of the best teams in the world have. So what an amazing game, entertaining from start to finish, and now everything to play for still in the second leg.
Well, is it, Nige, is the question. Is this tie still open for you?
Bobby, I'm actually still trying to work out what planet I'm on, so I actually know what it feels like to be Grella for once. No, I'm trying to realise. I actually know what it feels like for once.
We got 2 hours, bro.
I'm trying to work out what planet I'm on because I've just watched an amazing game of football, and I understand exactly what Grella says. Like, we've never seen football played at that high level in the modern times, with both teams going at it, the quality, the decision-making, the passing, and you've seen players come up with cramp. And that just shows how much high-intensity running has been done in this game. And it was just fantastic. And to answer your question, the tie is still open. Okay. That one goal, that tie is still open. PSG won tonight, but the bigger picture is football won tonight. For real football purists, football was the winner tonight in what we just witnessed.
You like that one, yeah? Troy?
I know what planet I'm on now.
Okay, back.
So,
no,
yeah.
It's interesting because obviously Nigel tells you about how the game's still on. At 62 minutes, he told everyone,
it's off.
Game's done.
PSG's through to the final.
Let's not lie to the fans.
Free kick comes in, hey, it's back on. I said if it stays at this.
No.
So it's nice to see him being at that moment. But to your point,
could you tell the viewers the truth actually, first? If the game finished at 5-3 or 5-2, yeah, I said it was done.
That was
That's what I said.
After he said the original thing. Okay. Anyway, so
how many words has Nigel said today, by the way, do we think? Nigel saying words or more goals? Which one have we had more?
I could easily sit and be like Grella if you want me to. I could be Grella today.
One thing I do agree with what Nigel was saying is that the football was the winner, because the amount of attacking play that we saw, the goals, the chances, Woodwork was hit 4 or 5 times in the game. It still could have been 7-7, 8-8, and no one could have said anything. It was a wonderful game of football, wonderful advert for it, but also then showcases now there's different ways to win. We're going to watch games and analyse games tomorrow where 2 teams are set up completely different. But these 2, the one thing I'm disappointed about is that we were starved of this being the final. Imagine that as a final.
Really, you would rather have this as the final and not over 2 legs?
Of course.
Well, we're fortunate we get to watch over 2 legs. But imagine we've just finished it. That was the final.
But do you think
5-4,
it'd be
goals,
that open?
quality.
Yes.
Yeah, I do. I don't think they play any other way than what we've just seen. Both teams want to go for it. Even at 5-2, normally you go, OK, PSG are going to run away with it now. Bayern were like, no problem. Let's just keep playing. Let's keep playing. And then it felt at that point that Bayern were going to score, once they scored the 3rd goal, that they were going to go on to win it.
Yeah.
Wonderful, wonderful game of football, and truly honoured to be able to just sit and watch it.
You know, also, Poppy, when we watch that as well, you think about the amount of goals we scored, both teams, how we analyse how they played. Both sets of fans would actually be happy with that and happy with that result. From a Paris Saint-Germain standpoint, they'll think, right, we won 5-4. We showed we can do it. From the mental side point of when you win and you know that winning mentality, they did it over their biggest challenge they faced this season. And for a Bayern Munich standpoint, they went away from home, they scored 4 goals, they're only 1 goal down in the tie, and they played well. And they came over adversity as well, from being 5-2 down to come back and make it 5-4 to take it back home. I think both sets of fans will be happy with what they saw from their individual teams.
It's so true, because I suppose last season, Grella, we were treated to the chaos, really, of Barcelona and Inter over 2 legs, and everyone said, wow, that's one of the most exciting Champions League ties that we've seen. This one had just as many goals, but do you feel like this one had a completely different tactical feel to it?
Yeah, totally. Last year was Inter played in a certain way against a Barcelona side that probably played more similar to these 2 teams, and then Inter just, they you know, with an older team, a more experienced team, they sat in and tried to hit on the counter. Actually, they scored 7 goals and 14 passes or something like that. I remember I went back and watched it. It was incredible how efficient they were on the counter attack and with Barcelona's high line. This game's different. This is 2 teams that went for each other's throats. I don't know if there's other teams that can match this intensity. I think if you're, I'll throw any team in the hat, but just a Real Madrid or an Arsenal or any of these teams in the Champions League that are great teams, by the way, and you try to play head-to-head and toe-to-toe with PSG, you lose. If you try to do the same thing with Bayern Munich, you lose. But these 2 are so evenly matched that they both just went for the game, and I thought it was incredible. The elephant in the room is that there was 9 goals in the game, and also the beauty of the game is also defending. There was moments I thought the defending was really poor as well, and it has to be said because the game of football is beautiful through all phases. Midfield play is beautiful. The attacking that we got to see today, obviously the most preferable, easy for people to watch and neutral fans to watch. But also there's defenders, legendary defenders all over the world that are crying with some of the defending that happened tonight. And we'll get into it a little later. But, Neves, 5'4", whatever he is, 5'5", second smallest guy in the field, scoring from a set piece that Musiala doesn't track him. So we could go through that as well, where both teams will look at that and say, we did play well. We played a great game that everyone will talk about, but we've conceded 5 goals and we've conceded 4 goals. That's too many.
Poppy,
too many goals.
Only an Italian will moan about seeing 9 goals in a football match.
This is a reality. There has to be balance.
Grella enjoyed
Football
this
has to be
week's
balanced.
0-0.
He loves his 0-0. 9 goals in a football match. Everyone was very entertained. I understand what you're saying, but defending is a team dynamic. It's not on the individual no more. And the game has moved on. But at the same time, as you want to praise good defending, you also have to give praise and credit to good attacking play. You look at Harry Kane's ball for Luis Diaz's goal. What a ball by a striker to Luis Diaz. Runs off Marquinhos' shoulder, which you can't do much about that. And then the one-on-one defending in the box there's nothing much you can do about that. Sometimes when you concede a goal, you know it as well, you've got to hold your hands up. And I think for that today, that's what we saw, a lot of quality. Dembele's finish, that wasn't by luck. When he puts it through
Upamecano.
That's the one.
Yeah.
Put it through his legs there. That was... Yeah, he should have left me to hang to dry.
A bit of 5 seconds.
Some make you
seconds would have
At
been
least
perfect.
he gave me a clue this time. Normally he goes, you know the player I'm thinking of, don't you?
But I understand what you said, but you've got to give credit to the attacking play.
Absolutely.
And that's it for me. So I think for me, I will not complain in that aspect.
And weirdly, both keepers will think, I played all right today. None of the keepers made a mistake.
Yeah.
And
They were just great goals,
Yeah, they were just good goals. So to your point of poor defending, I agree. But I don't think of any chance that the goalie should have saved. You go, oh, if the keeper would do better there. Both goalkeepers played well and 9 goals were scored. So I just think it was more a day for the attackers.
What about the managers then? Because obviously we've given so much credit to Vincent Kompany. He's the next up-and-coming manager. Obviously we'll talk more about them later on in the show. But he was in the stands tonight, Grella. First of all, do you think that had an influence on the team, him not being on the touchline, not being able to communicate? Or as a player, are you thinking...
Well, that earpiece was not for him. No.
The next, his assistant was...
Of course, he never got any messages down. Not at all.
Yeah, my personal experience, that never affected me when my manager had a red card and was not there in the sideline. I think you know exactly what you want to do. You have 5 days to work on what you're going to do, and you have so many hours, and you have so many time that you spend in the video room as well. So you know who you're playing against. You know what the game is going to look like. They also played in the group stages early on in the season where Bayern beat them 2-1. So for me, it doesn't really have an effect on the game. Now, for the second leg, I think if any of the managers can tweak it a little bit and be a little bit more defensively solid. And I do agree with Nigel. I think the level of talent is so high and the attacking ability is so high. But there's a lot of moments where the fullbacks are they're left on an island, 1v1 with some of the best wingers in the world. And the center back is not close enough to come help, or the number 6 is not close enough to help. If both managers in the second leg could look at that and make the tweaks, which is why I think PSG is going to be dangerous in the second leg, because Luis Enrique's got more experience than Vincent Kompany in these moments.
But can you do that, by the way? Can you tweak, do you think? Because obviously we've said this about Barcelona, for example, and Hansi Flick has said you can't have the same attack without having this.
Barcelona's different.
Yeah, I was about to say that, yeah.
So you think these tweaks can still not impact the attack?
Because these are subtle tweaks, right? So it's like if we're attacking down the right-hand side, I want my holding midfielder to go and just fill in at the full-back position, because we're going to show a little bit later. But Kvaratskhelia goes short, runs in behind. We was having a bit of a discussion about the actual one-on-one defending, but there's no centre-back there because the centre-back's going pressing in with Dembélé, who's got in as like a number 10. So it just creates this huge space.
Let's have a look at one of the polls, the first of the night on YouTube. Best Champions League match of all time. 81% of you say yes, 19% say no. Which one of you would have voted for yes?
I would have voted yes.
Yeah.
Because the thing is, I understand we talk about the goals, but you got to look at the quality of the goals as well, and the high level.
Of all time.
Listen, we got to go through it all. I'm sure there's been some great ones, but like you're saying, even the dribbling, like some of the moments that didn't even lead to a goal. Some of the movement.
It's one of the greatest.
Non-final, I would say it's the greatest. Final, I'm thinking AC Milan, Liverpool comes to my mind in that type of game.
Oh, come on, man. You got to take shots at Grella for,
man. Beat them or the...
Oh, there we go. He's firing back.
Let him have his one moment of the night tonight.
Listen, he's got to keep talking about the past because the future doesn't look great, does it?
Troy, don't worry. He's going to pull out the 4 World Cups in a second.
It was crazy, wasn't it? There were so many examples like that where the game just opened up so much. Grell, you've got the iPad. You're going to have a look at the best performance of the night. Is that right, on your iPad? What are you doing with that?
We'll look at a couple of things of how they moved and what they did and how they attacked. So, for instance, we can't move them like Magnus, but we're going to show them with lines here. And these three midfielders here will be central, right? So they'll be like sort of in this spot, which leaves these flanks wide open. And then this is the game, right? These are the players that we saw play today. Kvaratskhelia was unbelievable. Díaz as well, when you get him 1v1. Same
transformer. I thought that's what you were drawing.
Use your imagination too much here, by the way. And then you have the same thing here. This midfield three was tucked in to allow this space on the wing. So they do this very similar to each other in that way. And now I just want to show another really important piece. Dembélé and Kane, right? We'll just use Dembélé for this example. He comes into these positions here, right? So now when he comes, wait, that's a little confusing. When he comes down into there, right? The two center backs, Upamecano, who would be here, and Ta would be here, right? This is Bayern Munich's back line, right? They now have to account for this, so they have to go and step in here. Mm-hmm. This leaves this huge gap right here, right? And this is what left Kvaratskhelia alone with Stanisic most of the game. Now, the reverse is also the same. On the other side was Olise, who had the killing Mendes, was the same exact thing. These center backs here, they're forced to come out because the entire team is pressing. When these center backs come out, these guys are left on islands alone. And they're left on islands with some of the best wingers in the world, these two guys here, right? And so what you would want to see in a perfect world is that when that ball, like Kvaratskhelia makes a run, we're going to show it. Kvaratskhelia comes down. He comes down in this, and then he goes, right? He makes an unbelievable counter movement, and they leave Stanisic 1v1. If that's the case, and you're the center backs here, this is the back line of Bayern, and you're Stanisic, you bite on this play, you would love to see the center back first one to put out the fire. You would love to see this shift happen, right? And if you couldn't, you would love to get it from the number 6 that would come down and put that fire out. But what happened was he was out of the game. He was out of the game. He was too far forward pressing, and this matchup would happen. And too much space and too much talent there to leave those guys 1v1. And both teams recognized that issue, but both teams said, "Well, that's fine. We'll take our chances. Well, we're gonna outscore you." Yeah. And that's how you get a 5-4 game. Because Luis Enrique, he's one of the best in the world, if not the best in the world. He saw that and said, "I'm going to leave it that way because it's going to give us something on the attacking end."
And it also adds to the conversation we had before about the best dribblers in world football. And then you say, like, oh, show him outside, show him outside. But because they're so good with how they move their body and manipulate their body, when they're at that level there, it's hard to show them outside. And Kvaratskhelia comes inside, which goes to the conversation
Two of the best three that we showed
dribblers. Yep.
Were on show tonight, and they showed why. Obviously, Lamine Yamal being the other one. But for me, the Kvaratskhelia goal, I know Grella's going to talk about it from a defensive point of view. We're going to look at it
right now, yeah.
Oh, nice. But for me, from an attacking point of view, it's perfect. It's what you show all your kids. Go short, gets him to bite, sprints in behind. Now he's got him sprinting in behind. Defender is panicking. He knows he wants to come in on his right foot, but because he's so out of position, he can actually go and get that shot off on his left foot, gets him to bite again. And what a wonderful finish. Grella, I know you want to see it from the defensive point of view. Yeah,
and it's a story of two tales. Obviously, you have to look at the defensive side as well. The counter movement makes Stanisic bite really hard here. Watch this. He goes in there, but look where the centre back is. Look where Upamecano is.
Well, sorry, let me just jump on here. See, at this point here, if he goes on his left foot now, he still could run past him and score because he's got him nervous. But because he comes in on his right, gets him to bite again. So he bites in twice. That's why he gets to come in. Sorry, I know you're going to come in and show the defensive side now.
Sure. Yeah, so we're going to see it one more time here. The same exact play, but from the defensive lens, right? I'm pretty sure. And the counter movement is the one that moves Stanisic. He gets beat too easily on the counter movement. Watch.
It's called a check.
Right, but look at Upamecano. Upamecano is nowhere to be found because he's going to press the football, which is they understand that's the way they want to play. So no one is able to come over and help him. They leave him 1v1 in a lot of space with one of the world's best wingers. Now, for me, in this situation, on my life, I don't let him come inside there. I understand he shakes him, and he's one of the best in the world, and it's impossible. But on my life, I let him go around me on the left side somehow.
I've got one better for you.
If you just pause it there for 1 second, what Grella's trying to say is, as this ball comes, look, now you either want a centre back coming across, or you want to see the midfielder running back. He needs to be doing that from the start. It just
You're saying keep him out wide. They let him
I'm saying from an attacking point of view, it's a great goal.
It's a great goal.
From a defensive point of view, I understand.
He wants more help, which there should be more help there. But because they press the ball, there's no help.